Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. Today we are back in Varus Isles, and in the last episode I showed you a little bit of the progress that has been done since my last video, since the PC crashed, or broke I should say. And I watched back the second to last video and I realized that you probably haven't seen anything about Marley Beach or this industrial area at all. But I don't have any usable footage left anymore from the creation of those two villages and industrial areas, so can't show you anything more about it. So yeah, it's unfortunate. We had some technical issues that we had to overcome, but we are back in Varus Isles, and today I want to start another village. I think Manta Bay is as good as done. I still want to fill in these little areas, but that'll be for a later episode. Marley Beach is done. I still think it's a little bit too square and not enough runoff on the outsides, but that is also something that we will do in a future episode. So today I want to start a new area, and if we look at the map as a whole, there are a number of different locations that we can start a new area. We have of course the center island, and in the center island over here is going to be the main city center with the skyscrapers and the financial district and stuff like that. Over here I think we can create a community. Same goes for this island over here, maybe on this side of the mountain on the same island as Marley Beach. But the one I want to start on today I think is this one over here, this rectangular shaped area where we can build. And what I always envisioned this is like a little party area. Like this is the area where there are a lot of hotels, a lot of nightclubs, a lot of beach life, a lot of nightlife, maybe with a cool harbor over here, or on this side. These would be beaches where there's all-night parties, maybe a sports arena somewhere over here. The only downside of this little area over here is we don't have any connections going to it at the moment. So the closest highway is over here, the closest railroad is over here, and I think if you want to start building over here, I think the best thing to do is to branch off the highway over here and put down a tunnel underneath the mountain here. I think that would be the best way to go, maybe a highway going over here, but yeah, that would be cheaper probably to build a bridge alongside the mountain. But I think a tunnel underneath the mountain coming out over here would be cooler, I guess. So yeah, I think that is where we are going to start today. We are going to start a new area over here. This is going to be the party area. This is going to be the Las Vegas of Varus Isles, or the Monaco of Varus Isles. Maybe there will be a nice big harbor with yachts and sail ships and stuff like that, a marina so to speak. So yeah, that is what we are going to do today. So we're going to start with a little bit of some connections, railroad, roads, all that stuff, and then we are going to start our little city over here. So let's mark out the area that is going to be used, and the menu seems to be interfering with some of the options, so let me fix that real quick. Alright, it's the resize mod, and the horizontal offsets determines where the menu is. So if you can look at down here, if we put it at 0 where it was, some options disappear behind the menu, and I think 125, yeah, there's nothing behind and nothing after the question mark, so 125 horizontal offset is excellent. Alright, as I was going to do, we're going to map out the area that will become our new city. Excellent. Florence Square. That doesn't sound like a Florence Square to me. So if you have any naming suggestions for this part of Varus Isles, something water related, island related, party related maybe, like Las Vegas or Monaco, stuff like that, please let me know in the comments and maybe we'll pick your name. Okay, it doesn't have to be this precise, but... Alright, excellent. Florence Square, of course, that's not going to be the end name, but that is the area we are going to start today. And let's get building with some highways. Alright, and that is the highway connection and rail connection done. It took a little bit longer than I anticipated, and I'm not quite happy yet with this interchange over here. I used one of the trumpet interchanges that I have downloaded. I think it was one of these, Timbo's trumpet interchange. Yeah, so it's a little bit too big for my liking. It works, of course, it's functional, so for now we'll leave it like this. I'm not quite happy with this highway in general over here, but I think once we start working on the financial district and the downtown area over here, that is when we will fix this highway properly. For now though, we have a highway connection and rail connection going through the mountain, through a nice tunnel. Coming out on the other side, this interchange, this one is a little bit better, a little bit more compact. This one is the Half Clover interchange by MaxFX. Still had to do a few adjustments, but I think this one looks really nice. So maybe I'll copy this one over to this side as well eventually, but not right now. Right now we have a functional highway connection, and that was the goal for this exercise. So, and as you can see, I created another highway that runs along the mountain over here, which is nice and straight, and we can have one or two highway off ramps over here, and in the end it will be a roundabout, just like on this side it'll be a roundabout, and then we have our connections to the city on this side. So how is this city going to look? Well, I'm not quite sure yet. All I know for this part of the city is that I want it to be a nightlife center. Ooh. Just touch the microphone. All I know is that I want it to be a nightlife center. And I want it to be a little bit modern. So stuff like this, I think, would fit in nicely. This is all from the After Dark DLC. So that is going to be one of the main sources of buildings that we're going to use here. Also, the airport hotels might be a good fit. Obviously, we need residential as well, so we're gonna have a lot of condos. Like, if I could type, stuff like this, these condos, stuff like this and this. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of residential area over here as well. These are all by Smileys, so yeah, they look pretty cool. We're going to use a lot of those as well. And then I think maybe some of the unique buildings that support tourism. Maybe some golfing over here as well. I think we're going to have a big sports arena over here. Not quite sure which one we're going to use, but don't think it's going to be football, but we'll see. Maybe we could even use the giant Ferris wheel over here. Maybe create a nice pier here in the middle. That would be nice. Yeah, and then a beach on this side, beach on that side. Yeah, lots of ideas, lots to do. So let's get started with our nightlife district. Alright, and here we have the first little area of our, what are we gonna call it? Our nightlife district. That's what we're gonna call it. So yeah, we have some low density buildings, just as we did in all the other villages. Nothing really different here. I did add a couple of apartment buildings over here, and we seem to be having issues with waste transfer, so let's turn that back on. So we have some apartment buildings, some condos, residential areas. We have a nice large casino and a couple of hotels with lots of parking in between. So that is the first part of this area. Now I'm thinking on this part over here, I'm thinking here is gonna be a football stadium or basketball arena, something like that. Sports related anyway, and then we can have a little highway connection over here that feeds into it. And then all the way feeds down to this as well. And since we are losing a whole lot of money again, I think mainly because we are putting buildings down like this, which cost 4,000 a week, and we don't have enough residential to support it. I think we're gonna add a little industrial area over here, just maybe temporary, maybe not. But we need to have a little bit industry to boost our income. Otherwise, I just have to keep adding money with the unlimited money button from Game Anarchy, and that's not something I want to do. So yeah, let's get started on a little industry area over here and a little sports area over here, and I think that's going to be it for today, so let's get to it. are in our nightlife district. As you can see, we added a nice big football stadium, the Copper Bowl. I think this is part of one of those content creator packs from the last couple of months. It's the Sport Venues Content Creator Pack by Bad Peanut. Yeah, that's the one. And then we have this conference center, which is awesome looking. I really like how big it is, and the yellow roofing over here. I think this one is from the African Creator Pack. I really like the way that they've been adding these bigger types of buildings to the game lately. I really hope City Skylines 2 does that a whole lot more, because the biggest houses and the biggest growable buildings are 4x4. I really like these bigger types of building. They really make a city feel, you know, alive, in my opinion. Not everything is on a 4x4 grid. So yeah, this is how far we came today. One thing I have to address is we did add a train station here, a sunken train station. I really like the way it looks. Really like the way it integrates in between this little neighborhood and what's going to be more high density over here. This part over here, I think we'll do a bus stop over here. We haven't done a big bus stop in the city yet. So I think this one is going to be a bus stop over here. And on this side, people coming out, having to go to the conference center, going to the football stadium, you know, going to the hotels, getting a room, going to the beach, stuff like that. So yeah, looks really nice in my opinion. But what I was going to say is we don't have a secondary train line coming in that could serve for our cargo station. So if you remember from last episode, if we take a look at all these, well, I'll say all, there are only two, but if you take a look at all these little villages, each one has a cargo station and a passenger station, and this one also has a cargo station and a passenger station. And the idea is that every little, every little village, city, you know, settlement has its own cargo station at least, and its own passenger station, so that we don't get a whole lot of traffic and cargo can be transported through the train tracks instead of over the road. So I'm thinking maybe next time we need to add a second railroad to over here. Maybe it can branch off over here, or inside the tunnel maybe it can branch off and come out as a second railroad, and then it could go underneath the highway and end up here. This could be a nice spot for a cargo station, or maybe over here, cargo station. We'll see, but we'll definitely need a cargo station over here. That's not something we need to forget. Also, oh, jumpy game. Also, one of the next DLCs that comes out is the hotels and resorts, which would be spot on for this area. So I think that would fit right in. I haven't looked at the styles of buildings yet that would come with hotel and resorts DLC, but I think it's mostly modern, so I think it would be a good fit over here. I'm not going to wait for it. The DLC is coming out next week, but I'm not going to wait for it because I'm going to record the next episode tomorrow, and I think tomorrow we will fill in the remaining area of this island. Most of it anyway, except for the beaches and the edges. So yeah, we'll see how the resorts and hotels DLC turns out, and if we have to do some updates along the way, then we'll certainly do some updates. Now, another thing I wanted to address is the demand for buildings. So basically, I've noticed that the demand for residential is high, the demand for shops or commercial is medium, and there is no demand for industry or offices. And this has been the case in my previous city as well, and I think the reason why this is happening is because this is the default demand meter. This is how they start out when you start a new city. Maybe commercial is a little bit less on new cities, but basically what I think is happening is I do not zone anything. I place every single building by hand, and every single building is a historical building. It looks the way I want it to look, so city looks the way that we are building it. But I think that has an impact on the demand meters. And My previous city, the demand was basically always like this. I thought that was because we built too much of an industry area at the start, but I don't think we've done that this time. Plus we added these normal industry buildings over here. Most of them are functioning fine. They do require workers, and they have some workers. They are more educated than what the industry needs, even though there aren't a whole lot of schools in this area yet. But basically, yeah, that's not the button I wanted. If I add industry buildings, regular industry buildings, then people start working there in general. So this one, for instance, it needs 16 uneducated workers. It has 13 well-educated workers. I don't know where all these well-educated workers are coming from, but okay. So if anybody knows how to fix that, or knows of a mod that I could use so that the demand meters show more accurately what the city actually needs, because right now I keep adding residential stuff, like these high density residential towers. The number of people in the city has gone up with about 2,000 in the last episode alone, I believe. But still, no industry demand whatsoever. So, if somebody knows about a mod or how to fix that, please let me know and I'll try it out. But for now, I think this is going to be it for today. I'm going to leave you with a couple of nice cinematic views of our new nightlife district. And if you have an idea for a name, something water related, something island related, something nightlife related, please let me know in the comments, and then we can use that name for this little area. Also, if you have other ideas for naming stuff, Walnut Hill still needs a name, Bedford Park can use a better name, stuff like that. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Please like the video, please subscribe if you haven't already. As you may have heard in the previous episode, a whole bunch of people just got happy all at once. I think we won a football match. Yeah, it looks like it. But as I was saying, if you haven't heard in the last episode, my PC had some issues. I had to replace a whole lot of hardware, which wasn't cheap. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps me out incredibly. And I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.